Hello there. I'm here with Mrs. Wooden, and we are going to find out a little bit more about her. Mrs. Wooden, what were you like, or what was school like when you were in fourth grade?
So I went to school in Sweden.
Oh, yes.
And what was interesting there is you had the same teacher from first to third grade, and then you had the same teacher from fourth to sixth grade. And you were with the same group of students.
Okay.
So I had a male teacher for fourth, fifth, and sixth. And there were about 20 people in my class, and we just did 3 years together in the same classroom, same teacher. And we had the same teacher taught us all subjects, including art and PE and music.
The whole everything.
So very different from how we're doing it here.
After this year, some of you guys may wish that it was like Sweden and you could have Mrs. Wooden for the rest of till sixth grade. That's awesome. Okay, Mrs. Wooden, what would you say is your spirit animal?
And that's a hard question because I have no idea. But I'm going to go with dolphin because I love the ocean more than just about anything else. If I have a choice where to go, it's always the ocean.
That makes sense. That works great. Mrs. Wooden, if you were not a teacher, which job would you think you would like to have and why?
I would love to have a flower store.
Oh, fun.
I love flowers and I love arranging flowers, and I could be around flowers all day and be happy.
Flowers, that's so great.
But teaching is almost like it.
Yes, right? You've got your own.
I got my own little flower bouquet here.
That's right. What are you most excited about next school year?
I'm really excited to get to teach fourth grade again.
Yes.
And to do it without masks this time.
Yes.
And so excited to meet all the new students and just dig in.
Fantastic. Well, my friends, here's Mrs. Wooden, and she's excited to have you in her class next year. Hey there, fourth graders. I'm here with Mrs. Murray, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about herself. Mrs. Murray, what was school like when you were in fourth grade, and what were you like as a fourth grader?
School was fun and exciting. I loved every minute of it. I was a little bit of a tomboy. My favorite subject was recess. My favorite sport was kickball.
That's the best. That's what school's all about. I love it. Mrs. Murray, if you could say one spirit animal that embodies you the best, what would be your spirit animal?
Panda bear. Hands down. I'm a panda.
Cute and cuddly and all the things. I love
it. Big, cute and cuddly.
Love it. Mrs. Murray, if you were not a teacher, what job do you think you would have liked to have done?
I've always wanted to be a teacher. When I was about 4 years old, my dad built a little classroom underneath the stairs in our basement for me, and I have practiced teaching with my dolls my whole life, and I still teach wonderful dolls.
Here you are
all the time.
That's so fantastic. I love that. Last question, Mrs. Murray. What are you most excited about for next year?
The kids. Hands down. I love kids.
That's what it's all about. New crop of kids coming in.
Yeah.
All right, fourth graders. Well, this is Mrs. Murray, and she's excited to meet you next year. Hope you're having a great summer, and we'll see you in August.
Thanks. See you.
Hi guys, I'm here with Mrs. Anderson, and she is going to tell us a little bit about herself. Mrs. Anderson, what was fifth grade like when you were a kid, and what were you like in fifth grade?
Well, fifth grade, I had my very first man teacher.
Fun.
And that was amazing. He was great. I loved him reading stories to us and all kinds of stuff. But I was a fifth grader in 1978, and back then, Little House on the Prairie was big, and so was the Brady Bunch.
Yes.
And my mom always curled my hair, and either it was in pigtails curled, or anyway, I looked like Nellie Olson or Cindy Brady, if anybody knows who they are. And I hated that people compared me to Nellie Olson because she was so mean. And I didn't want to be mean. I wanted to be nice. And so I didn't care about Cindy, but that really made me mad.
You did not want to be Nellie Olson.
Yeah, I didn't want to be Nellie Olson. Yeah.
That's too funny. Yeah, a little different probably back in 78, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No computers.
No computers.
It was a thought that one day computers would do our homework for us. And I thought that meant a robot would come and do my homework. So
that's too funny.
Kind of funny.
Mrs. Anderson, if you were to pick an animal that embodies you, like a spirit animal, what would you say is your spirit animal?
I'd probably say a dog, just because I like dogs the very, very most.
Yeah.
And so I want to be like them because they're loyal, they're happy, they're all those kinds of things.
Dogs are amazing.
I want to be like
Dogs are amazing, for sure.
Yeah.
If you weren't a teacher, which profession or which career do you think you would have wanted as a,
That's hard because I've always wanted to be a teacher. Like when I was 2 years old, I was teaching my little brother how to speak. And I was holding his milk. And said, this is how you do it. And I've just always been obsessed with
teaching.
Yeah, controlling things and everybody and whatever and being in charge. And so, but I know in junior high, they made us fill out those little papers that said what we wanted to be. And I had to have 3 choices. So I chose teacher, beautician, because if I wasn't teaching people under the tree, I was doing their hair.
Nice.
Or the Avon lady, because she was just really nice.
That's too awesome.
So,
I love it.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think, I remember those quizzes though that they had us take. That's too funny.
Yeah.
Last but not least, next year you've got a new crop of kids. What are you most excited about next year?
I am excited to actually see faces.
Yes.
I'm so excited to teach without masks and be able to move my desks where I want them and all of that. I'm excited.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, my fifth grade friends, this is Mrs. Anderson, and she will be one of our awesome 5th grade teachers next year. Hi guys, we're here with Miss Taylor, and she is going to let us know a little bit more about herself. Miss Taylor, what were you like as a 5th grader?
As a 5th grader, I was a little bit shy, but I loved going to school. I loved doing math. I loved being with my teachers and friends and doing all the assignments.
Awesome, that's what school's about. Miss Taylor, what would you say is your spirit animal?
My spirit animal, I would have to say a Wolverine.
Wolverine!
Because they're cute and small, yet fierce, and they also have long nails, so.
That makes sense, that's perfect. Okay, Miss Taylor, if you were not a teacher, what would be the job you would like to have?
I would love to be a full-time paramedic. I love the medical field and it's super exciting. I love the adrenaline and I love helping people.
Interesting. That's really fun. Okay, and last but definitely not least, what are you most excited about for next year?
I am most excited about next year. First things first, no masks. And I'm also excited for a new group of kids that I can love and teach, and I'm just excited for all of them.
Awesome. Well, we're excited for you guys to have Mrs. Taylor.
See ya.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Holmgren, and I am so excited to be a part of the Mountainside family this year. Hit me with some questions.
What were you like as a 5th grade student?
As a 5th grader, I was really shy, fidgeted a lot, was on the dance team and the swim team.
What is your spirit animal?
I'd have to say a flamingo because pink is my favorite color. I'm tall and I love being by the water and I love to stand out.
What job would you like if you weren't a teacher?
That's a hard one because I love teaching. It's like everything to me. But if I wasn't a teacher, I would have to be a party planner because I love decorating cakes and I love baking and just making a space look pretty and just having a good time with some party people.
What are you most excited about for next year?
I'm just so excited to meet you guys and to be able to teach you in person. Last year I taught online and it was so hard not to be with my students every day, and so I'm so excited just to be with you guys, teach you some awesome new skills, learn about some U.S. history, and do some great writing projects since writing is my favorite subject. So go Mountainside, I'm so excited to join the team.
Hello there! We have Mrs. Anderson here, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about herself. Mrs. Anderson, what was school like, or what were you like when you were in 6th grade?
Oh, school was a lot different when I was in 6th grade. Girls still wore dresses to school. We couldn't even wear pants. That was back in a time when the teacher could still use a paddle on you. And I had a 6th grade teacher who was free using that paddle. Never on me, though. I did what I was supposed to do. But it was a time of learning, just like it is now. But there was a lot more respect for school and attending school and teachers in the school. So things have changed a little over time.
Sure. Ms. Anderson, if you were to choose a spirit animal or an animal that embodies you the best, which would you say is your spirit animal?
Oh, it'd have to be a horse. We just have a brand new filly out in our pasture, and it is so free-spirited. It runs, it does what it wants. That's me. I march to the beat of my own drum. I do what I like, and I don't really care what other people think.
That's fantastic. Horses are awesome. Ms. Anderson, if you weren't a teacher, what do you think you would have liked to have done as a career, as a job?
Well, my number one job that I love, and that was being a mom and now being a grandma. And some of you will know my grandkids who are here at this school, but I also love gardening. I would spend all my time in the yard digging in the dirt.
And you do have a beautiful garden. So, Ms. Anderson, what are you most excited about for this next year?
I think I'm excited to come back to school and not have the cloud of COVID hanging over us, where we can come and we can be ourselves, we can smile, we can see each other's faces, and we can have good conversations together.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. Anderson. Sixth graders, get ready for an awesome year.
See you next year.
All right, friends, we are here with Mrs. Harris, and she is going to tell us a little bit more about herself. Mrs. Harris, what were you like, or what was school like when you were in sixth grade?
Well, I was pretty quiet. I had a few friends. I was a great student. I always did what I was supposed to do.
Didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I never wanted to get in trouble.
That's
Exactly.
awesome. Mrs. Harris, if you were to pick an animal, like a spirit animal that is a lot like you, what would you say you're like?
Probably say a dog, mostly because I love dogs, but they're loyal
Yes.
and they're very protective over the ones they love.
Yes, I can see that about you, absolutely. Ms. Harris, if you were not a teacher, what do you think would have been a career you would have liked to have done?
I probably would have been an accountant because I love numbers and I love math. And I actually did think about it at one time.
Really? Awesome.
But I decided I wanted to work with kids. So
Your heart was
I
in the
thought
schools.
I can still teach math.
That's perfect. That's perfect. And now, what are you most excited for next year?
Probably not wearing masks.
Yes.
And I'm always excited to have a brand new group of kids and get to know the kids and make new connections.
So fun. Clean slate. Awesome. Thank you, Mrs. Harris.
Thank you.
Sixth graders, you're going to have an awesome teacher next year. Hello, Mountainside students. I'm here with Miss Renee, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself. Miss Renee, what was elementary school like when you were in elementary school?
It was interesting. I went to a school in Tremont, so it was a teeny little school with not very many of us, and it was really interesting. I was super shy in elementary school, and I didn't dare raise my hand and ask my teacher questions or anything. So, as you see, I'm not shy anymore.
She came out of her shell a little bit. That's awesome. Miss Renee, what would you say is your spirit animal?
I would say butterfly because like Cam said, I came out of my shell. I kind of spread my wings and fly, and yeah, love adventure.
I think that's perfect. Very fun and vibrant. I think that's perfect. Miss Renee, if you were not a school counselor, what other job do you think you would have liked to have done?
I would have liked to have been a vet because I love animals, and I worked at an animal hospital from age 14 all through college, and yeah, I love animals and they're the best.
You'd be really good at that. And last question, what are you most excited about for next school year?
I am most excited to come, hopefully without masks, so that I can see all of your smiling, darling faces, and see your smile on your face. So,
yes.
Yay!
All right, guys. Well, this is Mr. Renee. We're excited to have you guys back next August. Hope you guys are having a great summer. We'll see you then.
Bye!
Hello, Mountainside. I'm here with Mr. Thompson, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what it was like when he was in elementary school. Mr. Thompson, what was elementary school like for you when you were a kid?
I was in kindergarten and we still got to have naps and treats, so it was awesome. But it was pretty laid back in those days.
A little bit different. Mr. Thompson, what is your spirit animal?
A dog.
Why do you like dogs? What?
Because they're just calm and relaxed, and then they get all excited and have a lot of energy, and depending on what kind of dog you have, but they like to work a lot too, and that's just kind of fits who I am. I got lots of energy. I'm kind. you know, I like to work, and then there's other times where you have to put your foot down a little bit, but
I can see that. That fits nicely. Mr. Thompson, if you were not a custodian, what job do you think you would like to have?
I always wanted to be a farmer. Still help my dad around with his farm, but yeah, I always loved animals and cows and tractors and being out on my own like that. So a farmer would be the thing.
It's a good job. Last question, Mr. Thompson. What are you most excited about for this next school year?
I'm most excited to see who I can scare and teachers, and what kind of pranks I can pull, and whose car I might be able to steal, and see what they do back to me. So that's what I'm excited about.
You got to watch out for Mr. Thompson this next year. All right, you guys have a great summer. We'll see you next year. All right, Mountainside, I am here with Mrs. Henry, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself. Mrs. Henry, what was school like for you in elementary school?
Well, that's been a really long time ago because I'm way older, way older than Mr. Anna. But I loved school. My favorite thing about school was actually reading. And I remember my third grade teacher, Mrs. Dobson, would read to us after lunch, and every day she would put on bright red lipstick while she was reading. She was a professional.
That's awesome. I love it. Mrs. Henry, what would you say is your spirit animal?
Probably a mama bear, just because I love to take care of all my little kiddos at school and my kiddos at home.
That's right. I think that's a perfect one because you take care of about 400 kids, so you do a great job. Mrs. Henry, if you were not a school secretary, what do you think you would have liked to have done?
My dream job was to be a librarian, actually. So one of these days, I'm going to make that happen.
That's awesome. You would do great at that. And last question, what are you most excited about for next school year?
Probably getting to know our younger kids, just because we didn't get to see their faces this year.
Yes.
So getting to know them and their faces and their names again.
That will be so fun. All right, Mountainside, hope you're having a great summer. We will see you in August.